We are hoping to learn more about the suspect and the victim in a potentially deadly shooting in Janesville.
And the president says he will delay his State of the Union address after the House Speaker barred him from delivering it in the House chamber.
This is News 3 This Morning.
Good morning and welcome to News 3 This Morning. It is Thursday, January 24th, and as we finish up with the snow, that is just piled everywhere this
now
morning.
The snow piles are high.
They're super high this morning, and now we're preparing for the cold.
Yeah.
Worse.
I hope you were able to clean everything up yesterday because you're not going to want to be doing it today. It's
No.
going to be windy and much colder today. Take a look at your view this morning from the WISC-TV sky cam. We definitely have cloudy skies now in the area with all that snow on the ground, a lot of that light reflecting, so it looks a little bit lighter outside. Temperatures are climbing here in Madison. We were at 5 last hour, now we're at 8. Janesville with clear skies, though, is still at 0. Elsewhere to the north and west with clouds, temperatures are at least in the double digits. Our forecast as we go through the morning calls for high temperatures early in the day in the upper teens. Then we drop back already by 8 p.m. tonight down to 3. Wind chills will definitely be below 0 by that time. Here's a look at your first alert traffic maps this morning. We have an accident to tell you about on the Beltline. This is on the eastbound side of the Beltline, right at Park Street. You can see there are a few delays showing up in that area. Otherwise, no other accidents to report, so you're still going at posted speeds as you head into Madison.
So far, we know there are 2 vehicles involved in that accident. No injuries to report, so we're crossing our fingers that'll be cleared up before the morning commute.
Clean it up within the next couple minutes or so.
Yeah, most definitely. Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
All right, 6:01 your time now. We are expecting to learn more later today about the man in custody for a potentially deadly shooting in Janesville last night. Officers say it happened just after 6 on the southwest side off Kellogg Avenue. Janesville police won't confirm it was a homicide, but deputies with the Greene County Sheriff's Office say Rock County asked them to check for a homicide suspect in the town of Cadiz about 15 minutes after that shooting in Janesville. Here's what a neighbor had to say about the scene.
I walked out of the house halfway down my property here on Crosby as I heard 5 to 6 gunshots. I heard a woman screaming, I don't know the address, and it was shrieking. It echoed.
There is a man behind bars after a police chase that lasted for more than 15 miles last night. Our Jamie Perez was at the scene and said a coroner's van was also there. Officers do confirm there is no threat to the public right now. We're expecting to learn more about that shooting and the victim's status when Janesville police hold a press conference at 2 this afternoon.
The man who was on the run for more than a week after allegedly murdering someone outside a casino will be in court for the first time today. Robert Pulvermacher was finally tracked down yesterday around 1:30 in the morning. A plow truck driver reported him near Pulvermacher Cartage on Madison's Far East Side. Police followed fresh footprints in the snow and then found him hiding in the bushes outside that business. Pulvermacher is accused of killing 88-year-old Harold Johnson, who was found dead in his car outside the Ho-Chunk Casino in Delton last Monday. Again, he's set to make his first appearance in Sauk County Court today.
The plant where Jamie Kloss's parents worked says it will be giving their reward money directly to Jamie, crediting her with her own escape. Hormel Foods and Jenny O had been offering a total of $25,000 to anyone with information into her disappearance and the murder of her parents. James and Denise Kloss both worked at Jenny O. The FBI had also been offering a separate $25,000 reward. There's no word yet, though, where that money will go.
New this morning, the president says he will, in fact, postpone his State of the Union address until after the shutdown ends. Late yesterday, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said she would not allow him to deliver the speech in the House chambers. The president had been considering a different location for his speech, but reversed course on Twitter last night, saying he looks forward to giving the address in the near future. This morning, Mr. Trump is tweeting about the strong economy, saying more people than ever are working here in the United States. Some people, though, still not working during this government shutdown. We're now on day 34 with the deal to end it seemingly far off, and some businesses now are offering furloughed federal workers a little bit of relief.
It's not a paycheck, but stores and banks are doing whatever they can to help. Our Christina Laurie is live at Metcalf's here in Madison with how their workers are hoping to pitch in. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning, Leah and Danica. Call them shutdown specials, furlough freebies. Metcalf's has added its name to the long list of businesses here in Wisconsin offering deals and discounts to federal employees who have been working without pay for more than 1 month now. All 3 Wisconsin Metcalf's locations are extending their employee discount of 20% off groceries to all federal workers in the state affected by the government shutdown. They're following the lead of other companies offering free meals, deferred payments, or zero-interest loans to shuttered workers. Owner Tim Metcalf says he knows the discount is small, but hopes it'll ease some of the burden building up on these workers for the past month.
I think it's being a grocer just in general. You're in the community, you see your customers on a daily basis, and you feel for, what their families go through, and you're part of, them getting together on a nightly basis as a family and celebrating, life in general.
That's led Tim to feel a certain sense of empathy for local furloughed workers. The Metcalf's discount is valid on purchases up to $200 through the end of the month. Federal workers just have to show their government-issued ID. Other places, from Potbelly's and T-Mobile to Sky Zone and even Rosetta Stone, are also offering deals to furloughed federal workers. I have a full list of all of the different businesses offering deals and discounts to you and your family up on our website, channel3000.com. Just type furloughed in the search bar.
So helpful for Wisconsin businesses to be stepping up for 29,000 furloughed workers here in the state. All right, Christina Laurie reporting for us. Thank you, Christina.
So we continue to keep a close eye on the weather and road conditions this week, and state troopers are prepared. This after responding to 200 traffic-related calls between 11 a.m. Tuesday and 7 yesterday morning. Almost half of those calls came from drivers who needed help. There were 50 reports of runoffs, 35 crashes that resulted in damage, and 16 accidents with some kind of injury involved.
Now that the snow is finally over, it's time to grab the shovel and make sure your sidewalks are clear. If you live in Madison, you have until noon today to get the snow and the ice off the sidewalk in front of your home. If you don't, you're going to face a ticket and a fine. Madison's snow emergency is still in effect until 7 this morning, meaning people in the snow emergency zone downtown have to follow those alternate side parking rules. Even if you're not in the alternate side parking zone, the city says it's not a bad idea to avoid street parking if you can to make the snow removal process a little bit easier. And with wind chills possibly plunging to -40 by tomorrow morning, we hope you have the First Alert Weather and Traffic app ready to go on your mobile devices. You can track the forecast for yourself and be the first to know when the weather will affect your day. Just search for the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather and Traffic in the App Store and download it for free.
If you are one of the thousands of people in our area who help raise money for Race for the Cure every year, there are some pretty big changes you should know about coming up this year. Susan G. Komen announced they're making a statewide name change to the More Than Pink Walk. They're hoping if pink symbolizes awareness, more than pink means action. Organizers are also getting rid of the separate timed run element. That's meant to create a greater sense of community for everyone in attendance. Now, Madison's More Than Pink Walk will happen June 8th at the Alliant Energy Center grounds. If you'd like to register, there is a significant early bird discount that runs through March 17th. You can sign up through that date for only $10 at KomenWisconsin.org.
All right, the moral of the study we're talking about this morning is moms out there deserve a little bit more credit. Proud mom and medical expert Dr. Mandira Mehra is in after the break to talk about the effects the day-to-day family stuff has on your mental health.
Speaking of super moms, Hattie McLean has a colder forecast for the day before things get unbelievably cold overnight. She'll tell you all about the alert days in the forecast when News 3 This Morning returns.
Good morning from the Hattie-O patio. I wanted to start with a picture this morning sent in by one of our viewers. We had clear skies and calm winds overnight. That allowed for some nice, pretty hoarfrost to form on that branch. Mike from Blue Fortune Farms took that picture early this morning. He says that little spot on the picture above the branch is actually the moon as well. So thanks for sending that in. Perfect conditions for hoarfrost with those clear skies for a short time overnight. Clouds have already moved back into the area, though, and I'm actually seeing a few flurries here in the backyard weather patio. Now, nothing that's going to really accumulate too much today. Any accumulation would be less than an inch, but we are talking cold temperatures. In fact, the snow and the accumulating snow has come to an end, and our focus now turns to an Arctic outbreak. Wind chills will be well below zero through Friday and Saturday, so alert days are in the forecast. We're talking wind chill advisory that starts at 6 p.m. this evening for the entire area, goes through noon on Friday. The National Weather Service will reevaluate on Friday and likely extend that into Saturday for those cold conditions as well. Take a look at your future track wind chill forecast. This starts at 3 when the kids are coming home from school. It's already going to feel like it's below zero, and it goes down from there. Strong northwesterly winds continue all night tonight. By 8 p.m. in the 20 to 30 below range, and it doesn't get any better from there. 20s and 30s below zero. That's what we'll wake up to tomorrow morning for those wind chills. Those are dangerously cold conditions, so you don't want to mess around with that. Frostbite can occur pretty quickly with those temperatures. Your future track wind chill forecast on Friday keeps those negative numbers pretty much in place even into the afternoon. Now, we will have a chance for a few flurries, as I mentioned today. We're seeing a little bit of that activity on the map to the north and west. These snow showers are along a cold front that's quickly moving into the region. That front is going to cool things down rather quickly. Take a look at the temperatures. 16 in Minneapolis this morning, but 4 below in Fargo. That's a pretty big temperature drop over just a few hundred miles. We're going to see temperatures drop quickly later today here as well. Double digits in most locations this morning. Noticeably cool is Janesville, where skies are still clear. Temperature is 0 there. Winds are from the southwest this morning. They'll be shifting to the northwest by mid-morning and then increasing 15 to 30 miles an hour with some of those wind gusts later today. That could cause some issues with blowing and drifting snow as well. Winds will stay strong even into the overnight hours. Your future track forecast, again, mostly cloudy skies today with temperatures climbing to highs in the teens early on, then dropping back through the afternoon. Best chances to see any light snow showers will be north and east of Madison. Clearing out overnight tonight and turning very cold. The actual air temperature is going to drop to around 13 degrees below zero by daybreak tomorrow. And it doesn't get much better than that. We're looking at a high of just 0 on Friday and 4 on Saturday. Saturday morning will be almost as cold as Friday morning. Winds won't be quite as strong, but with temperatures in the teens below zero, it doesn't take much of a wind to quickly drop that wind chill. We then quickly turn the focus to accumulating snow again on Monday before another Arctic outbreak for the rest of next week. Let's get a look at traffic now, though. Things should be better today than yesterday. Josh, what are you seeing?
Yeah, still looking at some delays hanging around on the eastbound Beltline from a crash earlier near Park Street, but all lanes are back open, so everything should be cleared up here in the next few minutes. Other roads here in Dane County not looking too bad right now. The usual slowdowns on northbound Verona Road and Stoughton Road approaching the Beltline. No delays showing up yet downtown. Volume not an issue at this point. And other main routes coming into Madison, you're still moving along at the posted speeds with no major crashes or delays. With your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you, Josh, and thank you, Hattie. So air pollution and drug-resistant superbugs are among the top threats to global health this year. That's according to the World Health Organization.
Yeah, another top issue on the list is people refusing vaccines. Dr. Mandira Mira joins us from SSM Health this morning to talk about why that's an international concern. Good morning.
Good morning.
So this is top of mind because of the anti-vax issue happening out in Portland, where they actually declared a public health emergency because of a measles outbreak there.
Exactly. And every season, it's hard to say season now because it happens a couple times a year, but this used to be a really controversial topic, and now it's an international threat. So just like you said, Danica and Leah, the World Health Organization has released their top 10 global threats. So we're talking about global warming, superbugs, and amongst Ebola and things like that are people that have vaccine hesitancy. What is vaccine hesitancy? I read a great article that explained it would be like me roaming around not taking a shower people holding their nose, showing me data that I probably should shower, that would be called shower hesitancy. Despite obvious evidence and data that you should do something, people still have this hesitancy. So unfortunately, vaccine hesitancy is the not vaccinating or the hesitancy to really do that despite scientific data. The reason this is an issue and a global threat is because things like this measles outbreak are becoming more common, especially in countries where the disease was basically eradicated. Now, of course, vaccines are not the only reason, but they do play a very big role. So the big take-home message here is it's now a global threat, and please talk to your doctor, look at the scientific evidence, vaccinate your kids. Other global threats included things like superbugs, so really resistant bacteria, viruses, to just the fact that we have antibiotics and medications to treat these things. But of course, the bacteria, the viruses are very smart and they adapt. So TB, tuberculosis, is a very big, prominent global threat. But now we're running out of medications to treat them. So again, global threat issues also include things like global warming and how that affects the environment and ultimately our health. So lots of things on that top 10 list, but amongst things that we can do that are preventable, definitely vaccinate.
Right. We're talking about keeping our families healthy here a little bit more, and moms carry a lot of that burden. There's actually a new study out showing just how much they might carry that burden. I'm sure you can relate a little bit.
Of course, yes, yes. I think every mom out there should support and love other moms for that exact reason. You know, when you become a mother, we were joking in the commercial break here that maybe that invisible labor starts even before you become a mother. Already you're kind of bearing the physical, the mental burden or stress or adjusting your life. But this study was amazing. It showed that despite women even working equally, despite women being very educated, having college degrees, having other degrees, they still really had that burden, that onus of taking care of a lot of the invisible household tasks. So I know a lot of men are super helpful. They'll say, well, honey, I'll cook dinner tonight, or hey, I'll take out the garbage, that kind of thing. So even though they're helping out physically, a lot of the burden still falls on the mother. For example, those checklists, those constant checklists of, will we have clean towels tomorrow? Where who's getting lunch? Who's packing, you know, X, Y, and Z?
Which kid need to go and when?
Exactly, being that chauffeur. And you know, there's that cartoon where the man and woman are watching TV, and the man's just watching the game, and the woman has this bubble of 25 things that she still has to do. So it kind of is said in jest, but it's a very real thing. So the reason this is important is that mental health, emotional health of a woman is very dependent on how much of that burden she feels. And a happy, healthy woman makes a happy, healthy child, makes a happy, healthy family. So anything we can do to help women out, even as a society, forming groups, chats, anything we can do makes, again, happy, healthy families, happy, healthy women.
Really interesting study there. An important issue to highlight.
Of course.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Mara.
Great to be here.
6:19 right now, and a family in Baraboo is sewing up some really cute teddy bears to bring a little comfort to people who need it. We are previewing our friend Charlotte DeLeste's Do Something Good story after the break.
And we do have a slight chance of flurries in the forecast, but nothing compared to that up to 10 inches just got dumped on us yesterday. Sorry, kids, you're going to school today. We'll tell you how many layers you're going to need, though, when News 3 This Morning returns.
Good morning, I'm meteorologist Hattie McLean. From the News 3 First Alert Weather Center, we have some clouds rolling into the area today, and a few flurries will be possible, but any accumulation on that snow, well, less than an inch. Best chances to see snow showers will be north and east of Madison today. We are talking about cold conditions, though. Temperatures are in the single digits here in Madison and Janesville, still 4 below in Watertown. With clouds to the north and west, though, temperatures are back in the double digits. We're looking at wind chills currently in the single digits above zero in most places. Here's a look at your bus stop weather forecast. High temperatures today will actually be midday, around the lunch hour. With cloudy skies, temperatures will top at 18. We'll already start to drop back this afternoon with strong northwesterly winds and wind chills dipping below zero. Stay warm today.
We will certainly try. Thank you so much, Hattie. So once we get back to more tolerable temperatures, there could be more bike paths to enjoy across Dane County. The county is planning to accept $500,000 in grants to connect the glacial Drumlin State Trail to the village of Cambridge and McCarthy County Park in Cottage Grove. There are also plans to extend Black Hawk Path in Shorewood Hills and connect the upper Yahara River Trail to Token Creek County Park.
All right, if you're a parent, your home is likely filled to the brim, or was at one point, with stuffed animals that your kids just won't let go of, maybe because they're a source of comfort. Well, there's a family in Baraboo hoping to recreate that feeling for children in need in their community. That's why the Gorder family has been making stuffed animals together for the past 8 years around the dinner table.
We wanted to do something different. We wanted the kids to do something for kids so that they could understand that there's kids in the community that need some help too, and maybe just need to know that others are thinking about them.
Coming up tonight on News 3 at 10, Charlotte DeLeste is going to tell us how this stuffed animal project got its start and how many people they're hoping to impact year after year. You can catch her Do Something Good story. That's tonight at 10. Okay, 6:25 your time now. We are hearing from some Venezuelans living here in Madison about how President Trump is helping with unrest in their home with his latest announcement. That story's coming up next.
In addition to the fact if you're looking for a better or bigger home, I should say, for the growing family, the time to buy might be on the horizon. We'll break down the numbers when News 3 this morning continues. We'll get a sense today of whether Wisconsinites think the new Democratic governor can get anything done with a Republican majority in the state capitol.
And making a difference one discount at a time, how local businesses, banks, even grocery stores are helping federal workers get through the shutdown now in day 34.
This is News 3 This Morning.
Good morning and welcome to the final half hour of News 3 This Morning. It is 6:29 on this Thursday, January 24th, and luckily it's a much calmer morning here in the newsroom and in the News 3 Weather Center.
Calm but cold, and temperatures are only going down from there. Hattie's got her fur hat on, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere over the next couple days, Hads.
Yeah, it's going to be permanently on my head for the next week. I was just telling our producer I'm really not looking forward to next week when temperatures will be even colder in the mornings. Now, let's take a look, though, at where we start this morning. We're at 8 here in Madison. Luckily, no wind to report, so no wind chill here in the capital city. There are some spots, though, with wind chills in the single digits above zero this morning. Sunrise occurs at 7:20, but we've already got clouds here in Madison. We're not likely to see a lot of sunshine today. Take a look at current temperatures. It's actually a little warmer to the north and west, which is not typical, but with clouds spreading in from that direction, they kept things a little bit warmer in Viroqua and the Dells and Camp Douglas, where temperatures are hovering right around 15 degrees. As you head out the door this morning, it is going to be kind of deceiving because temperatures will be dropping back during the afternoon. So while we'll climb to highs at 18, right around the lunch hour, temperatures will be much colder when you head home from work. It'll be windy as well with those northwesterly winds anywhere from 15 to 30 miles per hour. Let's check on the traffic maps this morning. It is definitely quieter on the roads this morning than this time yesterday. We have just a few flurries flying right now, and that's about all that's in the forecast today. Some brake lights starting to show up on Stoughton Road just south of the Beltline, but I looked around, no accidents to report. That accident on the Beltline has cleared as well, so you're going at posted speeds heading into Madison. And that's your first alert traffic.
Thank you so much, Hattie. So the missed paychecks are racking up for 29,000 or so Wisconsinites who are still furloughed or working without pay.
Yeah, and as we enter day 34 of the longest government shutdown in history, some local businesses are stepping in to help. Our Christina Laurie joins us from Metcalf's this morning with how that market is pitching in. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning, Leah and Danica. Let's call it a shutdown special. Metcalf's announced this week it's extending its 20% off employee discount to all federal workers during this ongoing shutdown. Now, that discount is good on all groceries up to $200 in value. This locally owned business is following the lead of several other chains that are also offering free meals or discounts to furloughed workers. Phone companies are offering flexible payment plans to government employees as well, and several banks are also stepping up, giving out zero-interest loans. Owner Tim Metcalf here at Metcalf says once he announced his discount, the response was immediately positive.
We know what a great job all our federal employees do for us, keeping us safe and running the government for us. And it's just, we feel it's just something that we can do to help shoulder the burden through this time period.
The discount is valid at their Hilldale and Wauwatosa stores as well as here at the Westtown location through January 31st. Although if that shutdown if the shutdown goes on, Tim says he'll likely extend that time frame. Other places like the Children's Museum here in town is offering $1 admission, and the Madison Symphony Orchestra is offering 2 free tickets to its show tomorrow night for all government employees. You can find a full list of all the businesses, banks, even phone companies offering deals up on our website, channel3000.com. Just search furlough.
A lot of people struggling through just to make ends meet, so little things do count. Christina Laurie reporting live from Metcalf's. Thank you, Christina.
6:32 now. The Marquette Law School will be releasing their first poll of the year this afternoon. It's the first since the November election took place and Governor Tony Evers took office. People across the state were asked whether they think the Democratic governor and the Republican-controlled legislature will be able to work together. They were also asked about some of the early candidates for the 2020 presidential race and their opinions on President Trump. Those poll results will be announced just after noon today.
Meanwhile, former Wisconsin Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Kleefisch has a new job on the Hill. Earlier this week, she was sworn in as the executive director of the Women's Suffrage Centennial Commission in D.C. That commission was created by Congress in 2017 to lead commemorative and educational efforts surrounding the 100th anniversary of women's rights to vote. vote, which happens next year, by the way. The city of Milwaukee is making sure it's ready to pay for the 2020 Democratic National Convention if it's chosen to host that event. Now, Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett said a line of credit for millions of dollars has been secured. The DNC requires that host cities must have a $20 million line of credit. Milwaukee is among 3 finalists now bidding to host the convention, along with Houston and Miami. A decision is expected next month. It's estimated the event could bring in hundreds of millions of dollars to the state.
If you are looking to move your family into a new home sometime this year, the housing market might be turning around just in time. The National Association of Realtors says home sales across the country cratered last month, with price growth dropping to the lowest level in more than 6 years. Mortgage rates and price increases over the years could be to blame for those sales. Here in Wisconsin, home sales did dip right around 2%, though that's just slightly off the record sales pace in 2017. The median price for a home here in the state last year, $184,000. That is up 7% from the year before. All right, to my neighbors out in southwest Wisconsin, there's a pair of meetings today for you to weigh in on a solar panel farm proposed for Iowa County. The Public Service Commission is holding a public hearing on the Badger Hollow Solar Farm. That would cover 3,500 acres outside Linden with more than 1 million solar panels. That's enough to power 77,000 houses. The State Journal reports it would be more than 100 times the size of the next largest farm here in the state. There's a meeting today at 2, then another one at 6 over at the Human Service Center in Dodgeville.
So protesters here in Madison are showing their support for family and friends in Venezuela, where the president is being condemned by leaders around the world. President Trump is one of those leaders. He announced that he will recognize the opposition leader in Venezuela, joining the growing number of people calling the current president illegitimate. U.S. diplomats now have 3 days to get out of that country. Millions of Venezuelans have left their homeland over the last couple of years, and now some of them are protesting here in Madison in support of loved ones still there and hoping they can go back someday. Ana Julia Guerra, I should say, thinks that says things have to get better before that happens.
I think a lot of people here has the baggage ready just to come back. I'm sorry. But yes, we love our country so much, and we are here just because we don't feel safe there. That's the only reason.
People at yesterday's demonstration say they are grateful for President Trump's acknowledgement of the opposition leader. They say the support from the U.S. is crucial to getting Venezuela back to the way it once was.
All right, still ahead on the program, the impact of the government shutdown in its 5th week now could be hitting airport safety. That's because air traffic controllers are among those 800,000 government workers not getting paid. We're going to update that story coming up in the morning sprint. Okay, so our My Morning picture today is more of a collage.
We'll take it. Our viewers sent a whole lot of dog photos to us, especially yesterday.
Ooh.
Getting mixed reviews of yesterday's snowstorm. First, this guy, happy to be running outside. Then others, maybe not so much.
Nope.
Looks like catch is not really happening for this pup today. And here, right here, our spirit animal, staying under the covers, taking a bit of a snooze, staying nice and warm.
Hashtag mood. That's exactly what I did all day yesterday. Show us what your morning looks like. Post photos with the hashtag MyNews3Morning, and we'll share our favorites of the snow or without right here on the program.
Speaking of pooches, the Madison Police Department is welcoming a new member to the team. Canine Patton is a 2-year-old German Shepherd. He's going to work with Officer Nick Uhl there after his former partner, Canine Freeze, actually retired. Now, Patton was sponsored by Midwest Family Broadcasting, so he's named after one of the former WJJO radio station hosts.
What a good boy.
Super cute. I have a soft spot for German Shepherds.
I know
there.
you do.
So thank goodness some of these pups will be inside today. You might want to do the same with your animals because it's about to get really cold out there. We'll be wishing for the teens of today once we get to tomorrow. Hattie has the kind of cold we haven't seen in years coming up after the break.
Oh, say it ain't so. But first, it's January 24th. We want to say happy birthday to Emmeline, Mitchell, and all the kiddos turning 3 today. Bundle up and have a great day. And thanks for celebrating with us right here on News 3 This Morning.
You are looking live right now in New York City. This is Times Square. Yesterday's snowstorm may have caused all of us some trouble, but that snowstorm is now hitting the Big Apple in the form of rain. They're under a flash flood warning until this afternoon, along with parts of Connecticut and New Jersey.
Woof, I'll stay right here in Wisconsin.
I think so too. I'll take snow, especially this time of year, over rain any day. So turning gears now, switching gears, ESPN predicts the Bucks have an 87% chance of beating the Hornets at Fiserv Forum tonight.
But what's getting the action online is one of the most Wisconsin things you might see at that game. I love this. Bango tweeted out this photo with the caption, "That's correct. You're looking at a giant grill that shoots out Clements sausage brats." Okay, so we're not exactly sure how this works. Maybe the fans are going to be armed with buns to catch the brats. Whatever's happening here, I love it.
Yeah, I should correct myself just so people don't show up in Milwaukee tonight expecting this. This game's tomorrow night, not tonight. Tomorrow night is when you might have brats launched at your face.
Okay, so you have time to maybe get on board with a sauerkraut slinger too to make sure everybody's got the appropriate condiments.
That would be a lot of cleaned up for the janitors over at Fiserv Forum. I don't know.
Come on, Danica, live a little.
We're gonna have to see what that's all about. My goodness.
I love it.
What Hattie's flinging in our face right now is this cold forecast that's heading our way. Hattie, just how low are we going to go?
Yeah, cold, colder, and then colder yet. That's really the theme of the forecast as we go through the next couple of days. But let's talk about some of the snow. It's really starting to look like winter around here. It'll feel like it later today as well. But for the first part of our winter, we had less than 10 inches of snow up until January 17th. This week, 2 snowstorms, almost back-to-back, have added up to almost a foot here in Madison. Some spots likely looking at over a foot just this week alone. So we're catching up on those season snow totals. Right now, just over 21 inches, about 6 inches below where we should be. And we will continue to add to that as well. More snow in the forecast. Here's the Future Track forecast model. Starting Sunday morning, watch this band of snow dive southward and impact southern Wisconsin late Sunday into Monday. Through the day on Monday, that snow will continue to fall. And again, we could see some pretty hefty snow accumulations coming on Monday. Right now, though, we're talking cold temperatures. The snow has ended for the most part. We may see some flurries today. 8 here in Madison. Minneapolis has a wind chill of 5 below. It feels like 28 below in Bismarck. Those are numbers that we'll be more familiar with by the time we get to 24 hours from now. Wind chill bulletins start at 6 p.m. tonight and go through noon on Friday. The National Weather Service will likely reassess and either extend or reissue wind chill advisories into Saturday. 2 alert days in the forecast. We're talking wind chills that do not get above 0 even through the day. Wind chills as low as 20 below during the daytime hours tomorrow and as low as 15 below on Saturday. When you're talking temperatures like that, it's actually dangerous to spend any significant amount of time outside. During the overnight hours and early morning hours, we're talking 30 minutes or less for frostbite to occur on any exposed skin. So not something that you want to take lightly. Take the proper precautions and keep yourself safe over the next couple of days. Our current temperature here in Madison is 8. With clouds in place a little longer during the overnight hours, temperatures are actually in the double digits to the north and west of Madison. So a little warmer in Mineral Point with 14. 13 in Boscobel, 14 in the Dells right now. Light southwesterly winds across the region early today, but as we put this map into motion, watch what happens. Those winds quickly shift to the northwest by lunchtime today and increase. We're talking wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour. That may cause some issues with blowing and drifting snow, especially on east-west roadways. All that snow that we got yesterday is pretty light and fluffy. Winds will stay strong even through the overnight hours. So here's a look at your wind chill forecast today, dropping back below 0 by 3 p.m. and then staying below 0 for quite some time. The actual forecast calls for temperatures to be in the teens this afternoon, but keep in mind these numbers will be dropping. A lot of clouds in place, temperatures falling through the teens back into the single digits. And take a look at this overnight low. Our forecast low tomorrow morning dropping into the teens below 0, 13 below. Could feel as cold as 30 or 40 below 0 tomorrow morning. Daytime highs barely making it into positive territory. That snowstorm then on Monday and then another Arctic outbreak for next week. So it doesn't look like we're going to break out of this deep freeze anytime too soon. But hey, look at this. Link in Edgerton. Look at that green grass.
Taking us back.
80-degree different there.
Link needs to put on a jacket or something because he's going to disappear in the snow that we have outside right now.
Yeah, you need a light on him or something like that. Oh my goodness.
Or just stay inside.
It's true.
Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
The Morning Sprint's coming up next right here on News 3 this morning. 6:52 time now for the morning sprint. Hattie says the snow is pretty much done for now, but we should all prepare for extreme cold.
And Christina Laurie is talking about how local businesses are helping federal workers struggling to make ends meet during the government shutdown. But we start with a shooting last night in Janesville.
I heard a woman screaming, I don't know the address, and it was shrieking. It echoed.
That sound and gunshots are what a neighbor says she heard at the scene last night on Kellogg Avenue in that city. Janesville police will not confirm it was a homicide, but deputies with the Greene County Sheriff's Office say Rock County asked them to check for a homicide suspect. Our Jamie Perez was at the scene last night and said a coroner's van was there. There is a suspect in custody this morning. Janesville police will hold a press conference to update us at 2 this afternoon.
The man who was on the run for more than a week after allegedly murdering someone outside a casino will be in Sauk County Court for the first time today. Robert Pulvermacher was finally tracked down when a plow driver spotted him at a trucking business his brother owns on Madison's Far East Side. Now, Pulvermacher is accused of killing 88-year-old Harold Johnson, who was found dead outside the Ho-Chunk Casino in Delton last Monday.
Just into the newsroom this morning, deputies in Lafayette County are investigating a deadly fire that happened yesterday. It happened in a home in the town of Fayette. After crews put the fire out, they found a body inside. Officers are not releasing the name of the person who died until their family has been notified.
The man in custody for a shooting in Florida is from the Midwest. 21-year-old Zafan Zaver is from Indiana. He reportedly called 911 around noon yesterday, telling police he had shot 5 people at a bank. All 5 of those people were killed. So far, police have not released any motive. That is, Zaver is expected to appear in court later today.
And our forecast calls for a few flurries today, but really no accumulating snow across southern Wisconsin. We're seeing some of that activity to our north and west early this morning. Temperatures and wind chills, though, will be a factor today. We'll climb to highs of only around 18 by midday, then drop back this afternoon with a strong northwest wind.
Thank you so much, Hattie. President Trump says he will wait until after the government shutdown ends to deliver his State of the Union address. His decision ends a showdown of sorts with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who at first had asked him to postpone the address, then late yesterday said she wouldn't allow him to give it in front of Congress. The president had been considering a different location for his speech, but he reversed course on Twitter last night.
Meanwhile, the Senate is set to vote on 2 bills today that would reopen the government, but neither is expected to pass. The GOP plan includes $5.7 billion for the president's border wall. The Democratic proposal does not. Today marks day 34 in the longest shutdown in U.S. history.
You are going to see lengthier and lengthier flight delays as the staffing issues become worse.
Air traffic controllers say they're already stretched thin and concerned about safety as the government shutdown delays their paychecks. Yesterday, groups representing air traffic controllers, pilots, and flight attendants released a statement saying, quote, "We can't even calculate the level of risk currently at play, nor predict the point at which the entire system will break."
Metcalf's Market has added its name to the long list of stores offering discounts and deals to the 800,000 federal workers impacted by the ongoing shutdown, which is now in day 34. 29,000 of those workers live right here in Wisconsin. Metcalf's owner, Tim, is extending the company's employee discount of 20% off to all federal workers who show their government-issued ID. He's following the lead of other chains offering free meals, phone companies deferring payments, and banks giving zero-interest loans to shuttered workers. For a full list of shutdown specials and furlough freebies, head to our website, channel3000.com.
Christina, thank you. The interstate near Mauston is back open this morning after the snow and ice we saw yesterday caused a crash involving 10 semis. The interstate was shut down for 6 hours during that crash yesterday. One person did have to be taken to the hospital. State Patrol says the first crash started in westbound lanes of the interstate when one semi rear-ended another. They were carrying aluminum and metal pipes, which spilled all over the road.
If you live in Madison, you have until noon today to get the snow and ice off the sidewalk in front of your home. If you don't, you're going to face a fine up to $50 for your first offense. Madison's snow emergency is also still in effect until 7 this morning, meaning people in the snow emergency zone downtown have to follow alternate side parking rules.
Plows across Madison still at work this morning. Let's check in with Josh Tim with one more look at how the roads are looking. Hi, Josh.
Yeah, the westbound Beltline continuing to get busier as everyone heads out for the day. Look for brake lights between Stoughton Road and West Broadway, adding a couple minutes to your drive. Inbound John Nolan, you're tapping the brakes at Rimrock and Olin Avenue, heading into the downtown Madison area. area with a minute delay there. And other main routes coming into the city, they're moving along at the posted speeds with no crashes or issues to worry about this morning. With your First Alert Traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you, Josh.
And we have cloudy skies in the area this morning, but no issues with visibility. They may see a few flurries today, but otherwise look for falling temperatures this afternoon. Highs will be around midday at 18, then drop back into the single digits by this evening. Alert days are in the forecast for tomorrow and Saturday. We're talking dangerously cold wind chills, especially in the morning.
Bundle up today because it's only going to get worse out there this week. Thanks for joining us this morning. We'll see you back here tomorrow.